I wanted to give back to the community that helped me to become the person I am today. A lot of my role models in life are teachers, and they really inspired me to become a teacher. A lot of personal connections. I really thrived in previous experiences, getting to know my students on a personal level, getting to know their interests. So developing that bond, very beginning of the school year is how I work to build that relationship. I'm a Spring-Ford alumni. I went to Spring-Ford my whole life. I student taught here. The opportunity presented itself. I was in the right place at the right time, and I'm really happy to be back.
My goals are to make a huge impact that is positive, and it creates a warm welcome for all my students in my classroom. I love the idea of being that positive influence, and I'm so excited to meet all my students very soon. My biggest fear is that I'm a perfectionist, so I want to do everything right. I want to do right by the parents of the students in my classroom. I want to do right by my students, and I want to make sure I meet all my goals. But the reality is that's not what life is about. It's about making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. So, I just have to be easy on myself going forward. I'm excited to just build connections, meet new friends because I'm new to the area, and I'm very excited to kind of be a part of a new family, and I'm sure I'm going to find that here.
My goal is just to make an impact on the kids in my class. Coming into a new role as being an ELD teacher, it is just to broaden my horizon on learning new for myself and then making a change on the students in my class. I think just making the impact that I made on them, so the new material that I taught them and take away into the next grade that they go into. So I'm particularly doing 2nd and 4th grade, so taking that into the 5-6 center, just stuff I taught them. So I did my student teaching here at Spring-Ford, so I think that being my first year and coming into Spring-Ford, all the connections I made with my new colleagues and the students made me love and thrive in my teaching. So
I was always good at teaching, even when I was in high school, and I just desired to have that. I have a natural gift for just giving away knowledge in a way that people can understand it. I just look forward to bringing an authentic science experience to the classroom and connecting students' lives and seeing how their lives are enriched by their connection with science. What excites me the most about being a part of this community is being able to engage a population of students and parents, really. I want to learn how to re-engage that entire community. It's very similar to the type of high school that I went to, and so it's a pleasure to be able to rediscover and reconnect with a vibrant community.
My goal as my first year of teaching is to build connections with my students, make a difference on their lives educationally and emotionally, and to grow as an educator and to learn a lot from my peers and coworkers. I plan to build relationships with my students by learning about their interests and incorporating it into the curriculum, building the connections right off the bat from the first day of school. I chose Spring-Ford because I worked the ESY program all throughout college, and I knew this setting was where I would want to teach, and I always went to small schools growing up, so I want to be part of a larger community.
My goals for my first year are just to learn Spring-Ford systems, policies, meet teachers, meet the faculty and the staff, and really get to know the students and the policies and procedures at Spring-Ford. I want them to remember that speech therapy wasn't just work, and that it was fun, and it was a way to help build their motivation, self-determination, self-worth, and give them a little bit more self-esteem and help mature a bit. I live in the district next door, and Spring-Ford is nice and close, and I've always been very impressed with what Spring-Ford has to offer in regard to special education.
I've always wanted to be a teacher. I've always loved helping people, and I've always loved working with children. I'm really excited to join a community at Spring-Ford. I've moved to the area recently, and I'm excited. I've heard great things about the district. To just meeting my new students and hopefully making an impact on their lives.
My grandmother. So my grandmother taught for 25 years, and she was a high school math teacher, so I always thought I wanted to do that. Didn't like calculus, and I'm a Spanish teacher, but I just watched how she impacted her community and how she loved everyone and everything around her. Honestly, I'm not from around this area, And I had another friend send me an application, say this is a really good district, and as soon as I came in, I knew that the community here and the people that would be supporting me were awesome, and they were for me so that I could be my best version for the students.
I think my passion for helping people, but also wanting to be able to further my growth as a leader in the community. Hopefully, my engaging lessons and meaningful connections with students. I think Spring-Ford actually chose me. I did my student teaching here 2 years ago, and quite frankly, I never wanted to leave, and now I'm back.
So I had a pretty rough childhood growing up, but I wanted to inspire other kids, and no matter what happens, you can make the most out of what you got and have a great life. So I'm just really excited, having coached against Spring-Ford so much, the school spirit in this community, and now being a part of it and seeing it inside the school and seeing what everyday life is like here. Biggest fears about the first year are just not knowing where the bathroom is. I got to make sure I know where that is and know where I'm going around the halls. These buildings are so big.
I come from a family full of teachers, and I was really inspired by my dad and his career, but I also want to share my passion for music with my students. I'm going to be going on stage with them, so we've really got to be together, and we're going to build good vibes together and have a great time. Spring-Ford has a really long legacy of musical excellence, and I'm really, really excited to be part of that legacy.
This is actually my second year being a school psychologist, but my goals at Spring-Ford are just to ensure that students are getting the most equitable education that's possible, regardless of what challenges they may be facing and what modifications or accommodations they need. I guess just, being able to make sure that I meet the goals that I want to meet, and making sure that the students get what they need from me. I just think that Spring-Ford has a really strong community, and I'm really excited to be a part of that community to support students in growing to be their best selves.
I also come from a family of teachers, and a lot of my biggest role models growing up were either my coaches, who are also my teachers, or just my teachers, so I really want to be that role model for students. By the end of the school year, I hope that my students remember how welcoming I made them feel and how much I helped them grow, not only as students in the academic setting, but also as people. I chose Spring-Ford for the community, even though it's such a large district. It doesn't feel large because of how close and welcoming everybody is, and I really wanted to be a part of it.
My biggest goal is probably just to work on making connections with the students, make it known who I am so they feel comfortable coming to me, and I can just kind of help build that community with them and also the teachers, since I'm going to be coming in and just all around making connections. I'm looking forward to being able to make a difference in the students' lives, help them learn better, figure out ways to best support them in the classroom. I chose Spring-Ford because I actually did my practicum here 2 years ago. I was just here once a week, but I immediately felt the welcoming environment and the support that was all around, so I'm excited to come back.
I have a love of a passion for learning, and I just wanted to teach kids to have that same love and passion. Get to know what they like and use that to incorporate in my lessons and in conversations with them and support them. My nieces go here, and they love this district, and I wanted to be a part of a district that got my nieces to enjoy coming to school.
I come from a family of teachers. My sisters are teachers, but most importantly, my grandmother was a teacher. And I've just always had this love of learning and a love of students and people and wanting to kind of give back to the next generation. That I'm a safe space, that my classroom is also a safe space, and that I like to develop a sense of community in the classroom. I was very attracted to the part of the mission of inclusivity. I think that's really important, that every student gets the education that they deserve, and that the district is making or doing those things to help every student.
My goals are really to teach kids how to love reading. I know it's pretty difficult. Me personally, as a kid, I did not like reading, but you can find a new world within a book, and I want to be able to embody that. Teaching strategies, I just like to be different. Like one day can be a completely different lesson than the previous day, so kids just need to be on their toes and be ready for everything. Spring-Ford, so I student taught here, and I got a little taste of the community and the character of Spring-Ford, and I just fell in love with it, and I just want to be a part of it.
I was inspired to become a special education teacher because of my sister, and seeing the support she received was very inspiring, and just seeing the impact that that had on not just her but also our family was very exciting and impactful. I would hope that they would remember just the excitement, the energy that I bring, and that I'm very present and just excited to be there for them. I chose Springford because I was excited to be a part of a community that is very large, but it feels small. The effort that the district puts forth to make that happen is exciting, so I'm just honored to be a part of that.
My first years of teaching, I really just hope to, become a part of this community, become a part of this support system, and, really make a name for myself throughout the students in my building. Really just getting to know each and every one of them one-on-one and kind of their likes and dislikes outside of the classroom and outside of the math class. What do they like to do on their own time, during the weekends, things like that. I'm excited to be part of the Springford community because, it's a very large district, but, I was actually here for my student teaching, and I could tell that the support system here is very strong, and the staff really does feel like, a unified family with one common goal.
I wanted to work with youth. I really like seeing people grow, and high schoolers have it's the best time of their lives because the sky's open for them. Getting to know the community, getting to know the school, Springford has been very welcoming and open, and it seems like a wonderful place to be, and just trying to be a part of it.
Really, I thrive in working with kids and supporting them socially, behaviorally, across the board to make them successful as a whole person. Getting to know each student individually and understanding their interests and just develop that relationship with them. Just knowing their individual interests and getting to know them outside the classroom and outside the school. I chose Springford because I love the community and the support staff here, and I am excited to be a part of the community.
I have always wanted to be a teacher. I used to set my little dolls up and mimic my preschool teacher, so it's something I've always wanted to do, and I've always loved school. I'm most looking forward to the aha moments and to really getting to know my students and see how far we can go. I chose Springford because I am from the area and I really wanted to come back home to be near friends and family.
What inspired me to become a speech therapist? So I worked with some students back in undergrad, and I saw how important it was to have them thrive through communication. When there were some little kids who learned how to talk, how to communicate with others, it changed everything for them. I think I would like the students to remember that I'm someone who's approachable, that values communication, so I value communicating with them and learning about them and how I can support them. I chose Springford because over the last couple of years, I've seen some really phenomenal teachers in different ways. I have some family ties to the area, and I've felt really supported by the staff that I've met. So it felt very warm and comforting to become part of this team.